I remember when I was a little boy that the tobacco industry was going to court trying to prove that smoking doesn't really cause cancer or heart disease or emphysema or any of a dozen other things that they eventually did prove. Tobacco companies did their own apologetics, trying to save their image for the sake of sales. They knew that what they were doing was addictive and that it was killing people. But that didn't matter compared to how much money they were making. Especially when you remember that this is the reason that America became the world's richest nation. We were the dealer that got the world hooked on one of the most addictive drugs known to man. And this goes all the way back to Pocahontas, which is another point of alternative facts. If you saw the Disney movie, you saw John Smith dive to catch a bullet for Pocahontas' father, Powhatan? No. Smith put the bullet in Powhatan and then captured Pocahontas when she was a 12-year-old girl. And he kept her, you obviously wouldn't get 12 years old from the image that Disney portrayed, but he kept her as a slave until she was 18, and then he sold her to William Rolfe, founder of the American tobacco industry. And why is it that grossly distorted fabrications like Disney's versions of Pocahontas always sell better than true stories? The tobacco industry went to court in the 1960s to defend a billion-dollar racket that they'd enjoyed for over 300 years, because money is as addictive as cigarettes. And just think of the excuses that smokers give for why they're still smoking. It's the same sort of excuses they gave in court, that smoking doesn't really do all of the things that it does. And some smokers still believe that smoking is sexy because of some old movies. They all know that that's not really true. These are just excuses to hide their own weaknesses. And I know this because I was once a smoker. And I'm glad about that only because the memory of that gives me compassion for addicts. Had I never taken up smoking, I wouldn't have understood addiction at all. I would have had unrealistic expectations and no sympathy for people in that situation. But I know their humiliation now.